All right, another episode of Conversation After Dark. Tell you what's up with you.
Everything's going good with me, other than the snow. How are you?
It's cold, but it's probably like, if it was the same cold here as it was for you, you probably like wearing shorts and flip-flops. But I live in Texas, so it's cold. When you move down south, you get warm-blooded.
Yeah, yeah,
You
I've
get warm.
heard.
Sure. Yeah. I got a bunch of funny stories about that. But
Okay.
anyway, tell me where they can find us, Tay.
You can find us at Conversate After Dark everywhere. And if you would like to be a guest on the show, you can reach us at CVAD, the podcast at gmail.com.
That's right. Go to our website, www.conversateafterdark.com. Check out our past episodes. So, all right, Tay, let's do the icebreaker.
Oh, okay, I have an interesting one this time. If you were dating someone new who showed you all of their exes and they were all ugly, what would you think?
That's a really, really, really good question. Well, first of all, I think I said it before. I don't believe in calling people ugly. I would say somebody acts ugly or their personality is ugly, but I don't believe in calling somebody just because they're not up to my standards of attraction. I just don't think it's a good thing a nice thing to do to people. So I don't like saying
Mhm.
that. So if all the people that she dated was unattractive, I definitely would have some questions. Like, damn, what you think about me? Or am I like the catch? Like, have you leveled up? Or do you have like did you have like low self-esteem? And then finally decided to say, listen, I'm gonna go for something that's higher class. I would definitely have some questions. But I've had the same questions when I dated somebody and I was, privy to who their exes were, and all of their exes weren't shit. And I was just
Mhm.
like, okay, well, I know I'm about my business. I know I'm a good man, in most people's eyes. So, so like, in terms of like the base in terms of like being good in the community, uh, taking care of responsibilities, present to the family, all that shit. I got that. I'm getting all A's on when it comes to that. Now, back in the day, I used to be a cheating ass motherfucker. So that, that was a mark against me. But I used to kind of like, well, damn, man, you ain't dating nothing but losers. And it did kind of make me feel some type of way because I'm like, can you handle somebody who's not going to be a loser? Because some
Mhm.
people I actually dated a girl and she told me like she dated dudes that were beneath her level in terms of like intelligence,
Mm.
accomplishments, because that way she could control the relationship.
Oh
She
wow.
actually admitted that to me.
Yeah, I believe that. I think that speaks to an insecurity somewhere.
Hmm. Hmm.
Yeah, yeah, that's
For sure.
crazy.
Yeah, she told me that, and I was like, well, shit, you ain't finna do that with me, right? And the crazy thing was she would try to assert her dominance in that way in terms of, like if you get into like a disagreement, she would try to low key like insult my intelligence. And
Hmm.
you may got away with it once, but you can't allow somebody to talk to you like that because the next thing you know, you calling yourself dumb. You feel that you're dumb if you allow people to hold you like that. So
Right.
you're fine, but she had to get out because I wouldn't play them games.
Yeah. If I was in that situation, I definitely would look at the person odd, but I will also wonder why they chose me. Like,
Mhm.
I mean, in your mind, do I fit with the rest of your, I don't know. I did. Now, I'm not the most bougiest. I'm not bougie at all. I don't feel. I do have certain standards, but I do have an ex who I feel I may have been a little classier than the women he dated.
Okay.
That actually made me feel good though.
Okay. You
But
was you was used to hood chicks.
yeah, yeah. But I
So
mean, but he admitted that that was his type when he was younger. So you know.
yeah. Because I used to like chicks that was like feisty. You know what I'm saying? Like, every now and again we get into a little tussle or that type of stuff. But now like, nah, I need somebody who's calm. My mom told me back in the day, you need to find somebody that who's equally yoked.
Hmm.
That's biblical, and people interpret it. I've heard people interpret it certain ways in terms of like, a Christian can't be with like a Muslim or a Buddhist or what have you in terms of being equally yoked. But I've always had people use it as, no, y'all need to be like similar backgrounds. And I don't know, because I'm not a minister or anything like that. Even if we say it's based on your religious beliefs, I do feel that you need to be with somebody who has a similar background to yours, for the relationship to have a higher probability of flourishing. Uh,
Hmm.
Often talked about, being raised with love versus being raised off survival, and how the two things don't always mesh, right? And you got to
Hmm.
work. I also think like I don't at this age, I don't think I could be with a chick who got daddy issues,
I can understand it.
because the older I get and the more understanding I have, even with my friends who are women who, may not have been raised by their fathers, or the fathers weren't, shit or whatever, or they just had tough relationships with their father.
Hmm.
The type of man that I am, the level of protection I bring to all of my friends, in terms of like, we look out for the women that are around us, and you hang around me, you know how we get down. Uh,
Yeah. Yeah.
Sometimes that's met with rejection, and it's met with, like, why are you doing this, and this conflict, because they're not used to that, and it makes them uncomfortable. um
Hmm.
Look at it as, okay, I don't see this as protection, I see this as somebody trying to dominate and control me. And at this age, I don't want to fight that fucking battle no more. I
I
don't.
get it.
I don't. Like, if you don't see that what I'm bringing to the table is love, like, because if I didn't love you, like, you know me, I'm real black or white.
Hmm.
When you mine, you mine. You know, you and I, we didn't have no disagreements, but we've had some discussions where I'm talking like, hey man, look, if I want to fucking help you, let me help you. You know what I'm saying? But
Yeah.
you had a good father, you had a good relationship with your father, as far as I know. You know what
Hmm.
I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's how you talk about him. But I'm not finna fight that battle with nobody no more. Like, either you gonna
Right.
take this love and what I give, or because when I don't love you, or if I still love you, but I make the decision I'm gonna love you from afar, it's noticeable, because you gonna tell the difference.
Right.
You gonna tell the difference. Then next thing you be like, why he acting funny? Well, motherfucker, you ain't want what I brought to the table. So, go ahead, little dirty, live your life.
A little dirty, funny. Um, with the being equally yoked, of course I always say I grew up churchy, so I did hear that they were mostly talking about religion and also your level of spirituality.
Okay.
But I heard somebody maybe a year or two ago um say that what that actually meant is y'all are on the same path, because if y'all you need somebody who may have certain strengths that you may be weak in, or and vice versa, and together y'all will go the same path. Right. Just another way to look at it.
I can see how all of them apply though.
Yeah.
I think if you just sum it all up, you gotta be somebody you're compatible with.
Pretty
And
much.
it can't be a trauma bond,
Right.
because oftentimes we trauma bond with folks. I trauma bonded with somebody, I didn't even know it. You see things differently as you get older.
Hmm.
And I got with a chick, even though my mama told me, like, nah, man, that ain't what you need to be doing. My boys told me that ain't what you need to be doing. But you know what I got with her?
Wow.
I got with her because my father had just passed away. And I used to date her in high school. And then we got back together later on. And she used to work at a barbecue joint. And she would give my dad extra rib tips. And so the memory of my dad saying she's a cute girl, I like her because she give me extra food or whatever. I felt like, okay, I'm honoring my father, and there's that emotional connection about she knows my father, and I should be with her. Now, she did me dirty. Like
Mm.
probably the most dirty any woman has ever done me. And everybody tried to tell me like, nah, bro, don't do that. And I had to learn the hard way. And that was a damn trauma bond. Maybe there's probably some psychiatrists be like, no, that ain't no damn trauma bond. But for me, it ended up being fucking traumatic because I bonded with her. So
Yeah, I get it. You remind me, I watched this show called Ready to Love, and there's this guy on there who's been married twice, divorced twice. Both times he got married, it was right after one of his parents passed away. And one reason he gave, well, he gave the reason for the one after his mother was that she was the only woman that his mother had met. So he felt like, and then he was like, after he married her, he was like, I don't even like her.
yeah.
That was crazy, but yeah.
You know, I don't want to be a bummer, but like I got married and my mom passed like 3 weeks after I got married.
Hmm.
So, it does. I can see why people would, how people would fall into that trap or what have you. But at this age, I think most of our target audiences around our age are a little bit older. Uh,
Hmm.
yeah, we too old to be playing those games.
Right.
We too old to be playing those games because you end up, like you said, I'd have married somebody who I don't really like. And when you get with somebody you're not really like or you're not really attracted to, you start doing like fuck shit. And
Yeah.
the next thing you know, and I've always said it, the people who get on my nerves the most on social media are bitter black women. Bitter black women, and I think they get on everybody's nerves. Like, like, girl, can you find somebody to love you so you can stop terrorizing us and shit, you know? And I think other women get annoyed by them too.
Yeah.
But you got to go at the root of the cause, right? The root.
Hmm.
And the root of the matter is typically there was some man that hurt their ass. Maybe it was their father, or 9 times out of 10, it was some fuck boy who did them dirty.
Right.
So to me, I want to eliminate all fuck boys because if we do that, then we don't have none of these bitter chicks getting on my goddamn nerves. Because it's
True.
already. Go ahead. Go ahead.
That was say true, but you know how they say you never appreciate the sun unless you have some rainy days. Sometimes with those women, sometimes dating those F boys makes them appreciate good guy better. Sometimes. Sometimes.
I don't know. I feel you. That's a possibility, but like there's such a negative connotation for black men nowadays. And I don't think that it used to be that way growing up.
Hmm.
Um, I know that there was a lot of misogyny from black men that come from hip hop, calling women, bees and hoes and all that type of stuff. But I feel like it started I started seeing the negative like connotations, the negative stereotypes about black men when it comes to how we treat black women. I would say that I saw it around the time when Trump first got into office. Because you remember it was just all this whole, oh, well, the black man voted for him. And it pitted black men versus black women. And then finally somebody put some logic to the argument and said, wait a minute, now, you know, 90 something percent of black men voted for at the time it was Hillary.
Hmm.
So even if 100%, we couldn't have outvoted anybody else. So why are we fighting each other? And
Right.
then from there, it just went to the toxic masculinity, and that may have started with the whole Bill Cosby situation and the Me Too movement or whatever.
Hmm.
And really, that might have been it. The Me Too movement. The Me Too movement, even though yes, there are some black men who are foul in how they have treated black women. Period. Stop. There are other men from other races that do the same, if not worse.
Hmm.
But I feel as if the whole Me Too movement only targeted black men. There was only, black celebrities for the most part that were highlighted. You had, Cosby, what's the dude that did the Nat Turner movie, Nate Parker.
Hmm.
And it seemed like it was just a whole bunch of, it was just like black man, black man, black man, black man, black man. and it's become, almost a negative. And there's a lot of women, not all, but there's a lot of sisters who I don't. Sometimes I question, do they even really like black men? You know,
Um,
you want to fuck a black man. You may want to even marry one, but do you really like brothers?
Two things. One, could it be that we saw the backlash with a lot of black men because we as a culture tend to hold our celebrities at a higher standard than maybe they should be held at.
Okay.
And two, bitter black women been around. I've been hearing bitter black men and black women. I've been hearing those gender wars for years. I think that's why at the age I am now, the gender wars annoy me because I've been hearing it for years. So maybe I think the
You hearing it
internet
before social media?
yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
Okay.
Yes, especially hearing women say they're no good men because I can't say I won't say black men, but no good men. That phrase has been going on. I've been hearing that since I was a kid.
That's true.
So yeah, I think social media has a way of exacerbating
Mhm.
things, making things bigger than what they are. Um yeah, so maybe that's why it sticks out to you more now than it did back in the days. Plus, I am a woman who had a lot of female friends, so, and raised around a lot of women. So I was hearing, not that the women necessarily in my family were like that, but I was hearing it a lot.
Yeah, so there's predominantly men in my family, so obviously I wasn't exposed to that. And I think to your point about social media exacerbating things, that's exactly what it is.
Hmm.
Because you did hear there ain't no good black men, and some brothers would say, or some men would say B words ain't shit and all that type of stuff. So there was definitely that misogyny and that pitting against. But I feel like growing up, there's a lot more unity in terms of in a sense of community. I talked about protecting our sisters. I felt like it was more um, present in our community. And then when we get to social media, it's every day. Most people when they wake up, first thing they do is get on Facebook. I'm
Yeah,
guilty. You know
yeah.
what I'm saying? They get on social media and see like, let me check my notifications, see what's going on or what have you. And um, I think it's by design. I've always
Hmm.
said that we're much stronger together than we are apart. And I do think there was, people who stoked that fire just to keep us separated. And I think the whole notion of, black men, black men, black men, black men are terrible. It's just been a reoccurring theme. And so sometimes I ask people like, do you not know one black man that has treated you nicely, or
Yeah.
that you consider to be a good man? And unfortunately, I've encountered some women that say no.
And that's unfortunate. And I think maybe that's why
And,
I
and, and, and
never,
consequently, Coach Trent thought
mhm.
they usually are the most bitter.
Yeah, that's
But go
true.
ahead. Yeah.
But I think that's why that thought never stuck with me that there are no good black men because I grew up around a lot of them. So I didn't, I mean, and yeah, the men in my family may have had their faults,
Right.
but if you take them as a whole, like they were there for their families, they raised their kids, they may have raised them with a strong hand, some of them, but they were there. They were, as you say, they were men's men. So I grew up around that. So maybe that's why I never, and even not even just people in my family, but even as I grew up, like I have a lot of male friends.
Mhm.
My male friends I can look at and say, these are good men. Like I don't have a lot of no good. I've had some, but I don't have a lot of no good, male friends.
Yeah, and because like I said, my family, none of us were perfect. Um,
Hmm.
in our family, we took care of our families. We raised our families, provided. Now, were we some womanizers? Yes. Absolutely. Um, it has nothing to be proud about, but it's the truth.
I have a lot of those in my family. So, my
It's,
father, I always say,
it's
I
the
always,
truth. Yeah, it's the truth. But with that being said, despite our faults.
Let me rephrase that. My father was when he was in his 20s. I want to rephrase that before.
Yeah, you know, you
When
start
he got older,
yeah,
he
you
was
start
better.
some stuff. Yeah, right.
Right.
So, with that being said, the women in our family still adored like my father and my uncles, you know,
Hmm.
they'll, cherish me. Now we got some cousins who, man, you just ain't shit, right? And we
Right.
love them, but we, hold them in the place that they are. We don't, you know, tell lies and stories. But I just think I don't know. I don't know how we're going to be able to move past that connotation that black men have in the community. Um,
Yeah. Um, I had a thought a little while ago and I forgot it, but it's back. Not to bring religion into this, but I've heard my pastor say it, and I've heard other um, Black pastors say that this divide between the males and the female men and women in the Black community is a trick from the devil to divide us, to so that we won't have any unity, so that we won't work together, so that there's this divide within the family unit,
yes,
all of that. So,
absolutely, absolutely.
and I think we as a society tend to play into it.
Yeah, and I think it's going to take, but it takes accountability on both sides.
Hmm.
I started off when I said, "Hey, listen, the fuck boys are the ones who are causing this problem." I could say that, and I think for the most part, other black men can say that too. Um, and the word accountability. Sometimes that's a lightning rod when you say that towards some sisters, and I've seen on social media where it's like, hey, listen, you can't treat your man that way. You,
Hmm.
I saw one sister say, "Are you a conversation bully?" And she was talking to sisters, is like, yo, because I don't know, I'm a debater, but I really struggle if I'm getting into like a disagreement with my woman, because a lot of women I'm with they could talk circles around me, right? I'd have to take time to really get my thought out and everything. And you can be a conversation bully to the point where it's just like, well, fuck, I'm just gonna shut down. There's no
Hmm.
point in me trying to talk because you ain't trying to listen to me. So when she mentioned that, and then whatever, that's just one example. And then I saw another sister talk about how like she saw the look in her man's eyes when she was like emotionally. I was like a fucking toddler. I was like, hey, listen, when I don't get my way, I'm gonna act up. And she said she looked in his eyes. She said, "Ooh, this motherfucker about to leave me. Let me figure out how I'm gonna fix this." Um,
Hmm.
and I've always said that it takes people from our age generation to talk to the younger generation, because a lot of the women that I had issues with in relationships, I could say you ain't got no good women role models in your life. That's your problem.
Right.
You don't.
Yeah.
Because I don't know. Because I had older men that be like, "Hey man, don't be treating that girl that way. Don't
Yeah.
don't, don't do that. You need to yeah, you gonna cheat, but don't dirtbag her and shit." You know what I'm saying?
I don't know if all the way that was some good advice, but I get what you're
I mean,
saying.
I mean, listen.
I get what you're
If
saying.
you're gonna cheat on your girl, right? If you're gonna cheat on your girl, don't decide her. At least let her have some dignity.
Hmm.
Don't have her out here in the streets looking stupid. Don't be bringing diseases and babies home. Don't be having chicks coming up to her job trying to fight her and all that old shit. Have your shit together.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree with you that the older generation does need to teach the younger generation. I think I've said it on here before that, I have a smart mouth. Sarcasm is definitely a family trait that I possess. But it was my mother, um, back when I was in my very first relationship, who was like, hey, you can't just talk anyway to a man. You should never emasculate a man, all that type of stuff. But I wanted to get back to since we're trying to hold each other, both genders accountable. Before we get to accountability with women, they need to learn to read the red flags because a lot of times When friends of mine or women that I know have gotten into relationships with F boys, there were signs there that were ignored. And then fast forward to you in a relationship and he proves those red flags correct. And now you want to be mad at the whole gender when no, he was showing you stuff. You just weren't paying attention.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. And go back to what you said, what your mama told you in terms of how you
Mm-hmm.
talk to a man anyway. I had that conversation with my daughters, um, in particular my oldest daughter, because she was dating some dude, and I came home one day and she was on the phone and she was giving him the business over the phone. And I was like, okay. I had something to do, so I didn't follow up. I was trying not to be in her business too much. But then, like maybe a couple of days later, I called her and I was like, hey, where you at? And she said, I went to the fair with the dude that she was giving the business to. I said, all right, when you get home, let me sit down and talk to you. And I told her, I said, hey, listen, I heard how you was talking to him the other day, and don't assume just because I'm a good man that every other man that you will meet is going to be like me. There are some men out here, if you emasculate them like that, they'll knock your fucking block off. They'll beat your ass. They'll do a whole bunch of shit. So it's not right, but it's the way of the world, and you need to be
True.
careful with way how you talk to some of these dudes because they ain't rap tight, and they already don't really like women a whole bunch, because of
Yeah.
whatever
Yeah.
relationship they had with their mom or the women they grew up with or what have you. So talking about them red flags, look and see how emotionally mature he is. And you just don't need to be talking to nobody crazy like that. If I gotta talk crazy to you, I don't want to be with you.
True.
I don't want to be with you. We ain't playing those games. If you got all kind of issues with how I am and how I operate or whatever, go on, little dirty. It's cool. So, but let me ask you this.
Hmm.
I'm talking about womanizing and cheating. I know brothers gonna be like, "What you talking about, dude? Black men don't cheat." But
Need to
allegedly.
do black women.
Well, we know that ain't true.
We know it ain't true with black men too.
So there's this internet comedian who got caught up with allegedly he got caught up with his wife. Like she hacked his Facebook page and she's been talking about how he was cheating on her the whole time, with men and with women. It started out where she said she found out from a neighbor that the apartment that they were renting was actually owned by his mom, and that, she was paying half the rent and she felt like she was being deceived because she didn't know that she was actually paying, his mom. And, it started this whole deal where she was showing she took over his page. Allegedly, he got arrested, and conveniently there was cameras there to show him getting arrested. So the story is he's in jail and she's got access to his page. So she's
Hmm.
posting like ring camera videos of him coming in and out with women and all this stuff. And people were all like, "Oh man, go to his page and see what his wife is doing," and blah 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 blah. Now, it started looking suspicious. So people are like, it's probably him that's doing this, or maybe he's working in conjunction with somebody. We don't really know, but we know that like in the past he had more of a following and he lost his page. Somebody hacked his page, so he's trying to get engagement to come back up. 'Cause it's all a numbers game for
Yeah.
social media.
Right.
Uh, I bring it up to say because we don't know if it's true or not, but we have seen people who have blown up the spot with their current mate or their ex when they found out that they have been wronged. Now, I've heard the saying that you can't control how I respond to your disrespect, but do you think it's doing too much if you find out that your partner was cheating on you and you out them publicly?
I do think it's too much. However, normally your first instinct is your first reaction is your most honest reaction. And a lot of times, I think that a lot of times when people air stuff out in public, a lot of times it's just that initial. this person hurt me so bad. I just want to get it out. I need to tell somebody. And then I do think a lot of people tend to regret that later on because you're inviting people into your business pretty much to have opinions, try to give you unsolicited advice, all that stuff. You're allowing people into all of that. So I understand the sentiment, but in the end, it doesn't help anybody.
Yeah, because honestly, I would be hesitant to get with you afterwards
Hmm.
if I knew you had the propensity to do that. Not because I plan on cheating, because I'm not a cheater no more. And that's not a joke. I'm really not a cheater no more. I used to be, but I'm not anymore. But what if one thing happens and things don't go the way that we want them to go? Are you going to be lying to people in public? Are you going to put, be like, oh man, he ain't shit, or oh, he going through this? Because you go through things, and when you're in a relationship, you vulnerable, and the person you with, they see, when you're down and when you're up.
Hmm.
I'll be kind of hesitant for somebody who be willing to just blast, because not only you blasting the person, but you blasting your own business too
True.
on social media. So if you don't give a damn about your reputation, you sure ain't gonna care about mine.
Yeah, that's true. But a lot of times the people doing the dirt need to think 3, 4, 5 steps ahead because I was in a situation where I found out some stuff and I could have blown this dude's whole life up. But I'm just not that type of person. So I wasn't going to do that. But what if I was that type of person?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah. Oh, I know some chicks that have done that, like
Yeah.
di diabolical, like will go after your career.
Hmm.
You know,
And I've learned
it-
that background checks are not that hard to do. You can find out everything about people in this day and age of social media and just the internet. You can find out everything. I could have blown his whole life up.
so okay. Spin-off question.
Hmm.
If you found out that a person that you were dating, like initial, like y'all get to know each other, y'all hanging out, and you found out after y'all got in a relationship that hey, they ran a background check on you. Or if you just found out like, hey, I ran a background check on you, would you be offended?
No, but I'm too understanding. I get life. I get things. That's why that's another reason why I don't like people lying to me because I understand. All you gotta do is talk to me. We can work stuff out. But I would understand. Just like the whole if I had a child with somebody and they want to do a DNA test, I would not mind because I get that people do some foul stuff out here. I get it. So that wouldn't bother me.
Uh,
But
I
I tell you one thing, if from now on, if I meet somebody new, I'm running background checks.
really?
Especially now that I know how easy they are to do. Yes, that's yes.
When you say background check, you running like criminal background checks or
All
credit?
of it. Not well, yeah, that's not necessarily credit, but family history, criminal history, all of it.
What's family history mean? Like, are they married?
Yes, all of that. I remember, so my mother worked for her whole career was working for the Marine Corps, and she worked in the records division. She had a coworker. She told me this when I was little, and I just remembered it. She had a coworker who had gotten engaged to this Marine. 2 weeks before they were supposed to get married, then she's working in the records division. She could have looked up his records at any time. 2 weeks before they were supposed to get married, she looks him up, finds out he has another wife and a whole family in another state. That's what plays into my head. You know what I'm saying? So
He's stupid because adultery in the military. You're gonna lose rank, everything.
I know. I look, I know. I've dated guys in the military. I know. I could have blown this guy's whole world up, but I
Mm.
didn't. I'm just
Hey,
saying.
hey, listen, hey, look, and don't nobody cheat like military motherfuckers though. Men,
And
men
that's what's
and women,
stupid.
men and women. It's like Job Corps. They all fucking.
Which I know because of dating people and just knowing people in the military. I've heard all the stories. I know it's there, and I know that they have strict policies if you get caught. So I don't know.
Yeah, I'm not gonna blow a chick up. I probably would defend my reputation. Because but sometimes you defending your reputation, people just go off the first thing that they hear. Say unfortunately, say someone accuses you of sexual assault or something like that, and like you really didn't do it. How many times have we seen like somebody get blown up? Oh man, he hurt this woman or what have you, and then it comes
Hmm.
out, okay, the story is not really that true. The sensationalism behind the allegation hits everywhere, but the retraction of the story doesn't really, it's never as loud and it
Right.
never
Right.
done. So I would probably, if I had to like protect my reputation, I would do so. But other than that, I'm probably just gonna quietly move on, because it's already bad enough that you were hurt by the person. Now you're going to add public embarrassment, because there's going to be people who are going to know, like,
Hmm.
what happened to you? What happened to you and old girl? Oh, man, she, I found out she was smashing old boy. You know what I'm saying, or what have you. And so people are gonna find out, but when the whole town finds out, what's the song? The whole town laughing at me. Nah, man, that ain't that ain't what it's about.
I agree.
Yeah, so no, I'm definitely not doing anything like that, at all. But that leads me to the would you or wouldn't you
Okay.
before we end the show. Okay. Because you started off, this is perfect, perfect. You talked about would you feel some type of way if your current partners, if all their exes were unattractive?
Hmm.
What if your current partner said, hey, listen, I want a threesome, but I want to involve one of my exes. Are you down for that?
No.
Even if you get to,
Not in,
even if you get to choose which ex,
no. No.
why not?
Um, I I've said it on the show before. I have been involved in alternative lifestyles. So I have been in situations with couples. You can feel when people have an emotional connection. Even if they're trying to hide it, you can feel it.
Okay.
That's all I'm gonna say.
Okay.
So I would not purposely put someone that I'm dating in that situation. Not saying I'm against threesomes, although at this point in my life I might be. But if I was to do it again, it wouldn't be somebody from either one of our pasts.
I get you. I get you. No. Hell no. No. I'll say this. If a woman I'm with, and we're gonna assume that she's heterosexual, so she's talking about another dude, right? Because if she's bisexual, she's talking about bringing another chick. Hell yeah,
Here
yeah,
you go.
for sure. Yeah, and you bring the exit, I'm gonna try to wear her ass out too. But anyway, um, nah, I don't need that in my life. First of all, she'd have to be a hell of a woman for me to agree to, a male, female, male threesome.
Hmm.
Hell of a woman for me to agree to that. And I probably would prefer it be somebody who I don't know.
Hmm.
That way we can do what we got to do, right? Have our fun, and then we could just like move on, let it be, you know.
Yeah.
Or, I mean, it could be somebody I know, but not where there's like any type of romantic shit involved. Because I think, regardless of the fact, you may not feel threatened by an ex of your current partner, but there is some sort of competition between you and the ex. We talked about it, like, okay,
Hmm.
exes, they look good or not. Why are you with me? Why did you leave them? So there's always just like a little bit of competition there. So then you get into the bedroom and then you taking a risk. What why does she want him back in the bed? Is it because she liked
Question.
how he used to do it? How does she like how he used to hold that leg back? Is his dick bigger than yours? Maybe he hitting it, how you not hitting it or what have you. Say, why do you want to bring this motherfucker back in your bedroom? And why do I have to be there? Why do I need the first round? Why do I need to sit up front to see y'all do what y'all do? Because y'all, like you said, Tay, they fuck around, might just fall back into the old school and then forget I'm there. And they say, they making love.
Exactly.
And like,
That's what I'm saying. I'm not even gonna tempt my partner that way.
mm,
Because if they were an ex, I'm going to assume that they had feelings at some point. Sex tends to bring those feelings back. Have you ever had sex with an ex and then next thing you know, maybe y'all not back together, but the feelings might just pop up a little bit here and there. Yeah, I'm not. Of course not.
I, to- I told you. If I fuck once, I can fuck again. And it don't mean that I'm in love. And I don't give fuck if we fuck back when I was in high school. If I really wanted to, we can fuck again. Because I'm that dude. So no, there ain't no feelings.
Okay.
Nah. Unless you like married or some shit. I probably still can smash, you know what I'm saying? But you have to ask your husband.
See, there you go. Whatever.
Yeah. Could you imagine how bold that would be though? To ask, like, listen, and in one of my other groups, somebody said, okay, what if your partner was terminally ill? And they said, hey, listen, I'm gonna be out of here in a couple months. Um, I'd like to get some closure with my ex. And, I probably would like to, smash one more time. Would you be cool with that?
Closure should have happened long before they got with me. So no, I wouldn't be cool with that. No.
You wouldn't be cool with it, Tay?
No.
He couldn't go
No.
hit it one more time. You think he
No.
probably, and look, motherfucker on his deathbed, he probably ain't got that much stamina, so she ain't getting no good D.
Nope, I don't care. I'm good.
Man, listen. Is the beneficiary paperwork together?
Hey, that's what I need to know.
Am I still gonna get my payout? I need to see the paperwork. If the paperwork is okay, go ahead, man. Knock yourself out. Because you're gonna be gone anyway.
Oh gosh.
I mean, because we both said like, listen, I'm cool with the non-monogamy thing or whatever, but would I feel some type of way? Absolutely. Because like you said, well, why you need closure now? Because if you need closure now, that makes me think that I've just been a placeholder this whole time.
hmm
So why
Yeah.
you need closure now? Right? Send that motherfucker a letter. Write a letter to your homegirl and say, "Girl, when I die, mail this off to this motherfucker." But like, you ain't got to see him. What did Yana say? Not on my watch. No, no, we're not doing that. We're not doing that.
Yeah. Mm-mm.
Now, and then if you want to bring your ex into the bedroom, we might. But shit, you gonna have two exes when it's done.
Yeah, it will be two X's before it even starts, because I won't be there for that.
Damn, Tay, I thought you was open minded.
I am open-minded. We can open-minded moving forward. We're not going backwards.
I feel you. I feel you. All right, tell me where they can find us.
You can find us at Conversate After Dark everywhere. And if you would like to be a guest on the show or you have a topic you want us to cover, you can reach us at cvadthepodcast@gmail.com. Make sure you like this video, share it, subscribe, and leave us a comment.
That's right. Go to our website, www.conversateafterdark.com. Check out the past episodes. Shout out to everybody that was in the chat that was listening today. We appreciate you watching next time. Peace.
Bye.